And thanks for staying with us, everyone. Let's continue with the conversation now. Professor Banjia Akintoye, historian, joins us on the program, and also Mr. Rotimi Fashakin, as well as Mr. GT Ogunye, a lawyer. My panelists tonight who will be dissecting the matter of restructuring, constitution amendment, and the way forward for Nigeria. Let's get back to the conversation, and let's begin again with Mr. GT Ogunye. You were saying whether or not we need a constitutional amendment at this time, considering the critical questions Nigerians are asking about the issue of restructuring. And you were saying the constitutional amendment looks like a jamboree.
There is no real patriot and lover of Nigeria that will continue to go the route of constitutional amendment. It's not going to solve any problem. What do you want to amend? I've said it here at this studio that, for example, if the Nigerian people desire that this atomized state, 36 in all, between Babangida and Abacha, they created 17 out of these 36. Some just to satisfy military, restive officers and placate them with states so that they can superintend over states, not because people really needed those states. And so, if, for example, it is desirable to consolidate these states as we consolidated the banks in 2005, who will give up his own state within the structure of the National Assembly that claimed that they are amending the Constitution? Who is that senator that wish his state be wiped off and consolidated with another state so that he will no longer be a senator? Selfishness will not permit noble outcomes. So we just deceiving ourselves. We need to sit down seriously and think about the future. Look, it's been said that when the British were living, the realism they gave us was not perfect. Before that, the Northern People Congress and Sardana of Sokoto, God rest his soul, and his MPC wanted confederation. Our wanted undiluted federalism. Zeke wanted unitary system of government. They were persuaded, and the British realized, and everybody realized that, okay, we needed federalism. Not the perfect one, but something. And then in 1966, the military came, and they started creating states, they're doing all sorts of things, and now we have this bedlam on our hands. States cannot even perform functions.
Let's assume, like some people have described, that the military, out of perhaps lack of democratic knowledge, had done the kind of harm to our democratic principle and the bedrock of our nationhood. Let's bring it to the very basic. As a lawyer, where do you think we can start from? If constitutional amendment doesn't look like what we should be doing, and a lot of people say the 1999 Constitution is a military decree that was foisted on us in 1998. But as it stands now, where do we start from?
It's a schedule to a military decree, Decree 24. And everybody knows that. So it's a military decree that we practice. As a matter of fact, in 1999, those who were elected into offices did not even see the copy of the Constitution before they were sworn in. That's a fact in this country. But now we're here. And what is interesting is that, and this is a general statement, what I've observed is that those who are in power always want to cope with power and manage it, while those who are outside want to withdraw power and reconfigure it. So it is understandable that those who committed to restructuring yesterday, now that they're in power today, are no longer so committed to it, for obvious reasons. But we cannot be led by what they want or what they do not want. We must be led by what Nigerians want. And I'm saying that given where we find ourselves today, given where we find ourselves, where people are being kidnapped on the roads, people are afraid to travel to their villages and towns. We're all ensconced in the cities. The city is not even safe. The other day, the IGP was saying that, I've written to the president to allow us to recruit 155,000 policemen. You can recruit 1 million, 2 million police at the federal level, all you want. It will solve the problem of insecurity if you don't allow states to manage their own security. In estates in this Lagos and even along this Channel Drive, don't you see people there who are guiding everywhere? We have a problem on our hands. And so, for me, we can continue to do this for an eternity. It's like, we're not serious. Sit down. Everybody. Even the political elites must be persuaded. Do they like the country that they see? Let's sit down and deal with this constitution making and state reconstruction once and for all.
We've had several constitutions during the time of former President Obasanjo. We've had a constitution. There was a recent one, 2014 confab. Professor Akintoye, are we afraid of a sovereign national conference as a nation?
Well, we have had national conferences. We had one under Obasanjo in 2005. We had this one in 2014. The bottom line is this. This country must sit down and create a constitutional structure that makes it possible for us to live in harmony together. To make each people, each section, each federating unit develop its own resources for the benefit of its own people, and then with some leftover to be given to the federal government. And that's the only way we can deal with poverty in our country. Listen, I gave a lecture recently to a group of young men. I told them that the day I graduated from University College in Ibadan, the car sent by my employers to come and take me was waiting for me outside of Trenchard Hall, where I was taking my last paper. By evening, I was already an official of some importance under my employers. 2 or 3 weeks later, I was invited to the office and asked to take a loan from my employers to buy a small car of my own. That is the Nigeria of my time. Now I see young men, my children, my grandchildren, you know, the young people that I teach in the universities, all of it, they are in their hundreds of thousands, roaming around jobless. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years after they graduated from university. Many of them are so frustrated that they don't know what to do, that they will do anything, even if it is Nigeria needs to hear this. They will do something dangerous to just get out of this crisis, hopelessness. Many of them are leaving home and joining groups that want to go across the Sahara Desert to get to Europe, and many of them are dying in the desert. One official of the Immigration Department said a few weeks ago that 10,000 Nigerians have died in the desert and in the Mediterranean between January this year and May this year. 10,000 young people, your brothers, my sons and children and so on. I was home one night. Somebody called me and said, "Baba, we want you to help." What? Our daughter is in the desert. We don't know how she got there. She has a BA degree, a master's degree, is married and has 4 children. But she's so frustrated that she left.
Prof,
to join people.
Where do we go from here? It looks like a stalemate, isn't it? The National Assembly said, give us a copy of the confab report. They are doing the constitutional amendment. Do you think that the government of the day have the political will to make a restructuring of this country happen?
The Nigerian people must make them have that will. The tail doesn't wag the dog.
The dog does wag the tail.
The dog wags the tail. The Nigerian people are the dog. The people who rule them are the tail. The people of Nigeria must force the people who rule them to give them the proper constitution under which they can live decently.
How do you think that could happen?